Welcome back to another episode of the Momentum Shift podcast. In this episode, we're gonna just have a general discussion on the NBA and the NFL draft and where things are gonna go. We're gonna do a Sporcle quiz, and we're also looking to continue with our NBA pick'em. So without further ado, let's get straight into it and start with a pick'em. So with the last time we did it, it was April 1st, and all these games we had the same results except for Pistons versus Grizzlies. So what was the result of that game?
So the results of that game was um the Pistons and Grizzlies.
Yeah.
That was um wait a second. I think it was actually Pistons and Wizards, which means
Pistons Wizards.
and the Pistons won. So I guess you get the point anyway. So
Okay, so I think yeah, it's probably Wizards. Yeah. Let me just edit this.
do you remember a game getting postponed or no? I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Then I won this game. So as a result, that puts me up to 5, and you're still at 1. So
Yeah.
that's nice for me, not so much for you. So, but anyways, let's see if you can reverse that now. We'll move on to our next slate of games today. So we've got Raptors Nets. I'm gonna go with the Nets. I don't know how many injuries they have, but they're winning games. So
Yeah, same. The
Pacers,
Harden injury is a big step back though.
Pacers Thunder. The Pacers are garbage. So are the Thunder. I'll still go with the Pacers then.
Yeah, I got the Pacers too.
Wizards Warriors, just being by how good Steph Curry's been, I don't see them losing this game. Although I maybe see Russell Westbrook going off or something, but I still see the Warriors winning.
Let me take the Wizards. Actually, I'll take the Warriors too because Steph Curry is just like he's been really hot lately. So
Okay, so 76ers Suns. I'm probably gonna go with the 76ers because I watched the Suns play a game a few nights ago. I think it was against the Bucks or something. And with Giannis gone, they were struggling quite a bit. So and the 76ers, they also struggled against Steph Curry, but Steph Curry's like been the best player in the NBA for the past few for the past few days or weeks. So nothing to shame about that. What about you?
I got the 76ers. I just don't think the Suns are that good, even though they're the second seed.
Okay. Cavaliers, Bulls. I'm gonna go with the Bulls. I just think they're a better team.
Same, especially with the big pick of Vucevic. I
This is the
think
most
that
obvious one. Would have to go with the
the
Jazz.
Jazz.
Knicks, Hawks. I'm actually gonna go with the Knicks. They've been winning a few games, and then actually, but even though the Hawks are a much better team than Stan, it's like the third seed or something or the fourth seed.
The Hawks are 32 and 26, and the Knicks are 32 and 27. So they're actually really close by. I think they're
But
the
that's
fourth and
because
fifth
the
seed.
Knicks are winning a lot of games. I I still think
Yeah, so I got the Hawks because
okay.
I don't know. I think the Knicks win streak has to end at some point. So
Okay, I'm gonna get the Spurs. I think the Heat are a better team, but I have to go for my favorite team. So I
I'm
think
gonna take the. I think I'm gonna take the Heat because um yeah, I just think
Mavericks.
that
I'm gonna go with the Mavericks here. They have the best player and a better team. Simple as that.
yeah, same.
So, uh, Trailblazers Nuggets. I'm gonna go with the Nuggets here, even though I think Damian Lillard's a great player, and I think there's a good chance he could end up winning this game for them. But I'm still gonna go with them.
This one's tough because Jamal Murray's out for a while, but
Oh yeah,
the whole
Jamal.
season I think. But I I think I'm still gonna take the Nuggets because I think Jokic has been really good lately also.
Okay, so this game I'm gonna go Clippers easy. And this one I'm gonna go with the Kings. But you, I think this one's gonna be the Clippers as well, and then I think this one's also gonna be the Kings. Right?
I'm taking Timberwolves. They've actually been pretty good lately with Carlin Towns and D'Angelo Russell back. Like not good, but like
It's trash, but okay.
okay.
And these two games we didn't have the same. All of these ones above we had the same. So okay. So those three games were different, and that's how we'll differentiate. So let's move on to the next. segment, which is our Sporcle quiz, and we haven't done the quiz yet, so let's I'll show you no previous attempt, something like that. So we'll do it now. And 3, 2, 1, yeah, start. So these are, I think, playoff leaders. No, they're just NBA leaders. Okay, so I guess I think it's by last
Games
name.
is
Just
Parrish.
the normal names. What?
Games is Parrish for sure.
Um. Okay, Steel, Super Field Goal, Curry. What?
Abdul Jabbar.
Abdul Jabbar. Carmelo was there. Who else was there? I'm just gonna start.
Chamberlain Nowitzki.
I already did Larry Bird, Johnson.
Chamberlain Nowitzki.
What?
Chamberlain and Nowitzki.
Um,
Wait, Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk scored a lot of points.
Yeah. Shaq. Or O'Neal.
Okay, let's keep going then. I guess.
Hayes. Who's after that, Joe? Alright, let's see the free throw percentage. So we got Steve Nash, Ray Allen, 3-point field goals. Have you put Harden,
Yeah, Harden's there. Maybe they,
Thompson, J.R.
um,
Smith, J.J. Redick, Joe Johnson,
I already put
Wendy.
Johnson. I
Oh,
already. Let's go through the games points and these things. So let's
oh yeah,
go.
that should be easier. Oh,
Pippen.
Vince Carter. Vince Carter.
He had a lot of games played. Okay, we have to do rebounds as well. So
Rebounds.
assists. Okay, I'll
Oh,
think of
Russell.
what
Bill Russell.
you did blocks as well. Okay, yeah. You do rebounds. I'll do assists. Let's try and get through them all.
Dwight Howard.
Lord.
Barkley and Mutombo. No, Mutombo. Yeah, and Barkley. I'll put Dennis Rodman.
Assists.
Put Paul Pierce.
Yeah, he was games and points.
Put Patrick Ewing.
He barely made the rebounds list, but he did make it.
He's gonna be out of it. He might already be out of it if this list isn't updated.
What?
Like
Okay,
whenever this was made.
keep going. Assists. Who's number 2 in assists? I can't get that in my.
I think it's Jason Kidd, but I'm not sure. It's Jason Kidd, right? We try Jason Kidd.
Yeah, you're right. Nice.
And then fourth is Mark Jackson, I think.
Yeah, nice. Let's keep going with assists. I'm sort of
For
drawing.
game, I think Jason Terry is after Garnett. Oh, okay.
Here's some games. Already put Miller. Here are the things below that we can keep looking at. You want to?
Put Kyrie Irving, Kyle Korver, Chris Middleton, just like big Wendy. Put Redick with Wendy.
Giannis should be somewhere. He's too young. Durant should be somewhere. Is he? Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he should be.
in threes.
But Ben Wallace,
For blocks, yeah.
3-point field goal. This is after Jason Terry. Try Redick with Wendy.
Oh yeah. Wait, is that actually still his name? Isn't his name with 2 Ds? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Try Chauncey Billups.
No. Okay.
Try Jamal Crawford.
Might be there. Okay, yeah, we're almost done with threes. Let's look at steals and blocks as well. Steals and blocks. I didn't even Duncan, right? Yeah.
Try Maurice Cheeks or Mo Cheeks.
As for steals, chip ball.
Try
No.
Drexler. Drexler. Try Thomas for Isaiah Thomas. Oh, both Isaiah Thomas just came up actually.
He's on free throw percentage. Okay. Um,
Try Gasol. I don't know if there's a Gasol, but there might be. Oh yeah.
Pau and blocks, which I didn't expect. I had no clue Pau Gasol got that many blocks. Let's go back to points. This one should be easier.
You
Uh,
put Rondo there? You did.
huh?
Yeah, points should be a lot easier, right? Who's above Duncan?
I don't know why points is harder,
You put
but
Carmelo. Carmelo.
okay, he's up there. I already put Durant. I put Paul.
You put Iverson.
Iverson barely made the list. Vince Carter. Who else? I put O'Neal. I put Bryant. I put
Oh,
John.
try English.
Okay, we have two left for points. Games we also have to do. Who looks like whoever.
Try Dominic Wilkins, by the way. Last one that I can remember, I think.
Oh, he scored a lot.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you spell Julius Irving?
I think it's ERW.
No, it's not working. Nope.
Try Jerry Lucas.
That worked. What was it?
Try Nate Thurmond. PHUR. That went somewhere. I think it's probably for rebounds or blocks or something. Try for 3-point field goals. Try Wesley Matthews. I think it's with two T's.
Yeah, good job. Oh,
Try Kyle Lowry for threes.
no, it wasn't nowhere to be found. We already put
Try Iguodala for steals. I don't really know. It's getting hard now. Maybe Manute Bol for blocks. I don't know.
who?
Manute Bol for blocks.
Nice. Maybe Jokic is in there. Oh, no, okay, no, it's too much for him. Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
No.
Who's above Duncan? Let me think.
What?
Who's above Duncan? Like, who's fourth in steals? Oh, Gary Payton.
Nice. Like Sean Kemp or someone.
Free throw percentage is gonna be really hard because like it could be like random shooter. Like, it can be like random like bench players that like.
Put a lot of good shooters like Reggie Miller and all that. I can't think of. How do you put Mark Price? I don't even know who all these guys are.
Try Calvin Murphy.
Nice. We already put Hakeem. We already put Pippen somewhere. Pippen's already there.
Oh, try Mark Eden for blocks. EATON.
Nice, nice. I'm trying to think of like old current players for like free throws or threes or something. So I already put like JJ Redick and all that, but
Try Stojakovic. Oh yeah, okay. I don't know. This is getting really hard now. Like, go back up. Is there anything else we're missing up there?
do you know how to spell Andre Kirilenko's name or something?
Is that AK-47?
Yeah, but I don't know how to spell his name. Assist. We have to think of like quintessential point guards through time. I already put Robertson and all that, so
Try Bob Cousy.
let's think of old people like Havlicek or something. I got him in points. We got
Oh,
points.
Penny Hardaway.
Okay, we got Tim Hardaway for like two, I think. Okay, let's just do rebounds, assists, and games right now. For games,
Try Silas for rebounds. Paul Silas.
nice. We already put Moses and Carl Malone.
Try Derek Fisher for games. Those were a lot of games.
How come
Try
like
Deron Williams for assists. Try
what?
Deron Williams for assists. Well, Buck Williams kind of too. I wouldn't have got
There's
that
no way
actually.
we've gotten Buck Williams.
Yeah.
We just start spamming random last names.
Try Muggsy Bogues for assists. I don't know. This is getting really hard now. Try Sean Marion for steals, maybe. Dang.
I don't know how you spell it.
Try Rick Barry for free throws.
Yeah, we got it.
Dang. I'm never seeing his name up there. Try Calderon, like Jose Calderon for free throws also. I doubt it though. I remember that one season where he had like 93%. That's what I thought it was.
Oh, he had like 99% or something that season.
Uh,
But I think he only had like 150 free throws or something like that. Like barely above the limit.
try Paul George. I don't really think he would be up there, but maybe.
We already put like Kevin Durant and like current all-time greats. Giannis would be too young to be on anything.
Yeah.
I'm so stumped. I've got no clue about any of these things.
What about Ron Artest? Who's Meta Sandy for Artest?
World
Who's that? A Meta World Peace, maybe? Yeah.
Odom,
Oh, try like Fat Lever.
Kevin Steele, Archibald.
Try Larry Nance's dad. Like Larry Nance the first, whatever.
Time for blocks. Yeah.
Who's that guy under JJ Redick? I can't
John
figure
Moore.
it out. Who's under wait, who had many blocks? Try Alonzo Mourning, maybe?
Um,
Who's under Shaq though?
let's just go through history like best shot blockers. We already put Howard. And Wallace was already there. Uh, already put Duncan, Garnett.
Did you put Artist Gilmore? You put Ben Wallace?
We already put Ben Wallace. That's why I'm sort of struggling through all this. Mikhail should be somewhere. No. Like James
You put
Worthy.
try Oakley.
We had him in rebounds. Okay. I got John Bradley.
Try Nate Robinson.
No, I already put the name Robinson.
Oh, for Dave Robinson probably.
Yeah. Um, we put like Nate Thurman. I already did that.
Try Ron Harper.
But
What?
Derek Harper and Ron Harper. Nice. I think of like older basketball players for like blocks and steals, but drawing blanks.
Go up, go up.
Who's
Who's
this?
under Thurman?
Yeah,
Try Wes Unseld.
and then rebounds.
Who played so many games? Like somebody must have played so many games that I can't think of right now. All right, well,
40
whatever, I guess.
per. Oh, Steve Clifford. Okay, so a lot of this was Kevin Willis, yeah, Rod Strickland, Scott Skiles, Bill
Oh,
Shepard.
Terry Porter. That Pornishek, I didn't get that. Danilo
Favorite.
Gallinari. I
Alpin.
forgot Gallinari. I forgot Gallinari could be like on this
These
list.
are all pretty hard ones. Like, I guess Bob Pettit, we should have gotten that, but other than that, these are all
Man, I
pretty
feel
good.
like good. We could have got Gallinari, but I guess we wouldn't have
No,
thought of him. This
no,
is
no
too
one would
late.
ever have thought of that.
We got all the good like current day guys though, which
We,
is
we,
good.
we did 178, which is 90%, which is better than the average of 57. So
Yeah,
that's not too bad. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I think we did better than I
We
would
did
have
pretty good.
expected. All right. Well, do you want to talk about the landscape of the NBA?
Let's talk about the NFL draft. That's coming up soon.
All right. Yeah. So, um, with the first pick, I think Trevor Lawrence is the easy pick because,
More like what
like,
teams do, because I sort of like.
oh yeah, okay, yeah, that
What do you
makes
think that,
sense.
or like the Patriots, for example, are gonna do?
So, I mean, they have a few options. Like, they could go for a QB, but I feel like with the contract they gave to the Cam, I think they want to try out Cam for one more year, and then maybe. But I think if they want to like
I think
give Cam a
even what
chance,
he was going through, like he had like every disadvantage, and he wasn't terrible. I agree, a lot of things weren't great, but he wasn't like terrible. And they beat some good teams last year. They got a lot of help, and I feel if
yeah, I
you,
think
given the money he's being paid, I think it makes sense to go with Cam.
yeah, exactly. I think they should give him a chance this year, and if they want to, I think they should draft a wide receiver to give him that chance because they got Hunter Henry and John Smith in free agency, so he's two
I
like
think
really solid
I think
tight
what they
ends.
should do is they should take a quarterback if one like falls in their lap. If they get one of those like project quarterbacks or something later on, then they should take him. But I don't think they have any business trading up to like pick number 6 or pick number 8 or something to get him because that'll cost them like another first round pick and like a third round pick, which doesn't make sense.
Exactly. And like even if you're getting the quarterback with Julian Edelman retiring and like your wide receiving core not being that solid, you're not really giving that quarterback the best chance they could have anyway if you're gonna pick a quarterback. So I think you should try to focus on getting wide receiver or something that can help the quarterback out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean we have the best corners in the league, and then the defensive line isn't good. The linebackers aren't that good, but the corners are still the best. Safeties are good.
Problem with the Patriots right now, I think in my opinion also is they have the Bills and the Dolphins in their division, and the Dolphins just picked up like Will Fuller, and they're just getting better from last year, and
I
they
don't
won
think
10 games last year.
I think obviously we'll go 1-1 against the Dolphins. Obviously, there's no way either team wins 2 games. I think the Bills could be like a slight threat, but I feel I feel the Bills are going to get destroyed. Honestly, in one of the games, I think one game will be close, and then maybe the Bills
Oh,
win that game. But
I'm
there's
not saying like
three
just like the head to head. I'm also just talking about like just the total amount of
not like
games
the
won because
NFC,
if
like a bunch of tough games.
no because like let's say you guys win 10 games, if the Dolphins win 11 and the Bills win like 12, then you guys are still going to be the third like team in your division even if you would be like the first, like even though if you would have won another division
But I
like
mean, 10 wins should be enough to make the playoffs
yeah, but you might have a disadvantage like as like being like the sixth
in
seed or
terms
the
of
seventh
seeding and
seed.
all that, right?
Yeah,
Because you're like the Chiefs first round or something, which you don't want.
exactly.
Right?
Just think about like
The
just
Chiefs will
think about
probably be
like
like, the bye team, but you never know. So
yeah, I mean I think the Chiefs are either going to be the 1 or 2 seed unless like Mahomes gets injured or
I
something
think
like
if most people stay healthy, they're almost like a lock for the 1 seed. But
yeah. Um. What do you like talking about? Yeah. So just the NFL draft. Do you think that The 49ers should take a quarterback at number 3.
Oh, they're obviously taking a quarterback. It's not a question. Like you don't give up that much capital if you're not taking a quarterback. Because like
Or do you think they should take a quarterback? Like,
it's obvious. I mean, who else would they take? The only guy that you could throw in that top five, whatever board, is that tight end. But they have George Kittle, so it makes no sense to take.
what about an offensive lineman?
They don't need an offensive lineman. No one's going that high. They had like what the sixth pick, right? Right?
Um, I think they had like I think they
Yeah,
had the 12th pick. They traded up.
no, they had the sixth pick. They had the sixth pick, and then they traded that to
No,
the
no, Philadelphia traded that to the Dolphins.
Okay. Then still the 12th pick, like you can still get like probably the second best offensive lineman in the
What
draft.
do you do with Jimmy Garoppolo? Then
What?
what do you do with Jimmy Garoppolo if you draft a
You trade
quarterback?
him for like a second or a third.
Yeah. See, if I was the 49ers, I would trade him before the draft because um
His
like
value is gonna go down a lot.
like let's say there's a team that want to trade quarterback in the draft. If they see Jimmy Garoppolo is available, they might trade for him instead of. But once the draft happens, a lot of teams will fill their spots, and then it'll be hard to trade Garoppolo because a lot of teams wouldn't necessarily want a quarterback, if you know what I mean. The other option is to like draft like a quarterback, like for example, just like a quarterback that you can use on the bench, like Mahomes or something, and then have Jimmy Garoppolo start for the year, maybe bring that quarterback in at the end of the year or something like that. And
I don't think that's a good idea because it doesn't make sense to destroy his trade value that much. Because if if teams realize he's just like a temporary solution and whoever you draft is the long term plan, they're not gonna give that much for a guy who they know isn't like a great player.
maybe you're right. Um,
I'm gonna trade him. You gotta trade him now.
what do you think that the what do you think that the Dolphins should do with their first round pick?
They have a sixth pick, right?
Yeah, I think they should honestly like I think they should just draft the best player available where they're at because they picked up Will Fuller, they have Devontae Parker for their tight ends. I mean, and they have Mike Gesicki. So I think if Kyle Pitts, who's like the really big tight end prospect, if he drops to them, that's a easy pick. I think maybe they take an offensive lineman though, because they're giving Tua a chance this year, and I think they want to
If
protect
the
him.
Super Bowl taught us anything, it's that the offensive line is arguably the most important thing after the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean
I mean, you had the
for sure.
you had arguably the best quarterback of all time with some of the best receivers there were. And I'll admit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense looked amazing. By the end of the year, they were the best in the league. There's no debate about it. No one cares about the stupid Rams or anything else. They were by far a better unit than them. But the and but it's like they just got destroyed because of their offensive line. Meanwhile, they couldn't touch the Chiefs defense. They had their own problems like penalties and all that in the Super Bowl, but they couldn't touch Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, um, the problem I think the other problem was that the Chiefs receivers weren't able to get open, which goes back to your point about the Tampa Bay defense being really good. And um, since the Chiefs defense wasn't that good, I think the Bucks receivers were able to get open quickly. Tom Brady was able to release the ball fast, but like since Mahomes receivers weren't getting open, he wasn't able to find anything, and then the pocket was already crashing, so he had no choice but to keep on running until he was able
If
to
you look
find
at
it. Yeah,
playing an NFL defense, it's like a constant game sort of. It's like can your receivers, I mean, can your like defensive backs hang with the receivers in time for in time for the line to get to the quarterback because that's inevitable. The receivers are inevitably going to break free of coverage from the quarterbacks. They can't stay there. And meanwhile, the offensive lineman can't permanently block the defensive line. So that's also inevitable. They're getting to the quarterback eventually. So it's sort of like just a race to the thing. Can those guys get open before the defensive line gets there, or can those the backs like stay glued to them for long enough for the defensive line to get there? I feel that's like sort of the race that happens on defense.
yeah. What do you think about the pressure that's gonna be on Trevor Lawrence to perform like as soon as the year starts. Like all the eyes are gonna be on him because he's this like insane like number one pick, kind of like Zion, where like everybody like hypes him
Could
up
be like
since
any
like
number
high
one
school.
overall pick.
Yeah, but like it's
Who
gonna be
was
really
the
hard for him to
last year?
Joe Burrow, but he tore his ACL.
Okay, forgot about Joe Burrow. Like
Yeah, I mean, see, the Bengals had the fifth pick, and I think for sure they're drafting an offensive lineman. So
you have to learn from your mistakes.
yeah, the Bengals had the worst offensive line in the whole NFL last year. Like Joe Burrow got sacked like a historic amount of times, and they need to give him some kind of like to make him successful. They have to give him an offensive line, like we just saw in the Super Bowl, where like if the offensive line isn't like blocking, no matter how good the quarterback is, they won't
Joe Burrow
have a
is no
chance.
Patrick Mahomes, and you saw what Patrick Mahomes had to deal with. Like it was sort of sad. It was like every single play he was just running around. It took him like
And
18
also,
around.
one thing that was not really discussed was Andy Reid's son like got into like an accident the night before the Super Bowl, so maybe Andy Reid was like also like a little bit distracted like during the Super Bowl, which could have caused like some scheme problems because like the offensive line made so many like mistakes that were easily like detected. Like if you're the coach, you should have said like, uh, um, whatever Nanaba see was is gonna come down the middle, and then he just walked right through and came to Mahomes. So maybe like the distraction of Andy Reid's son being
I mean,
in an
you never
accident
know,
could,
but like
yeah,
it's just like I mean, like there's nothing that, like the Super Bowl
yeah,
wasn't anything luck. They were just the Buccaneers were just a better team in every
yeah.
facet of the game. So
No, the fact that they had Tom Brady and they didn't even need Tom Brady like just shows like especially
I
against
mean,
the Chiefs
they
like
needed Tom Brady because they needed like Tom Brady is like what makes him the greatest quarterback of all time is
it's
sort of
what he
how
does
he
off the
morphs
field.
his game, like similar to like how like a LeBron or someone morphs it, where they change who they are. Like he can like since he's so experienced and so old, he can probably like diagnose what needs to happen, and he can just realize, okay, this is a game where I just need to hand off the ball, throw quick passes, and just not turn over the ball and let my defense win the game. Like the Super Bowl that year, when the Patriots defense was like historically good, and then basically this last Super Bowl run as well. And then there were games like the Super Bowl they lost to the what was that team called? The Eagles in 2018 or 19 or something. The and that game he had like 500 something yards and he almost brought them there. So he like was able to diagnose that, okay, that's a game where I need to like take deep shots, do all that, and meanwhile this is a game where I just need to play it safe.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Actually, I wanted to ask one more question. What do you think about like? There's been a lot of talk lately about the fact that the NBA shouldn't have started the season because they didn't really give the players enough chance to like get back into their game, and as a result, a lot of players are getting injured. Like this is the most injured season of all time. So do you think that was like a mistake by the NBA or not?
I mean, I don't think it's on any one person in particular. I think yes, maybe they should have done that, but like I remember like reading news articles around that time where a lot of players were saying we'll do it after Christmas or things like that. But I think what was being said at the time was then your like TV rights are going to clash with the Olympics and things like that, and then you're going to lose a lot of money, which the NBA lost last year anyways. So I sort of feel it's like a at the end of the day it is a business, so uh, they did what they had to do to keep their money.
I think also the NBA has been losing a lot of money lately because a lot of people who used to pay for to watch NBA games now use like unpaid like streams, which
Yeah.
like is losing the NBA a lot of money as well. So yeah.
So yeah, things like that happen. I mean, I don't think they made a mistake. They had to save their bottom line, which was profitability. Like all these things fade away and take second. They play second fiddle to making money. It is a business, so I don't think
Yeah.
they made a mistake. I mean, it sort of is on the players. Other than like Jimmy Butler and LeBron and all that, a lot of these guys had long rests. Like the Nets were out for like over a year, especially like Kevin Durant and all that. And all the other teams, all the other playoff teams were leaving much sooner. So,
Yeah,
and plus, a
yeah,
lot
for
of
sure.
you look at it, a lot of the best players now are are decently young. Like, of course, you have your
Yeah,
like
yeah. Like
and
Luka Doncic,
also like
Jokic.
Jokic and these people. They've got so much time left that they like need rest less than like a LeBron or someone.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to say something interesting. Joel Embiid, who some people consider to be like an MVP candidate, even though LeBron's been out for the last month, he still had more games played this year than Joel
Yeah,
Embiid.
I don't get how that works. I think Embiid has just been injured so much that this season him being injured less by his standards is good enough for most people.
Yeah,
Like
for
he's
sure.
still injured more than everyone else, but because it's less than what he normally does, it's still better.
I think they're still gonna get the first seed. Because I think with Harden being out, he had like a setback the other day with his injury, so he's probably gonna be out for a pretty long time. I don't think the Nets are gonna be able to like. They might win a lot of games, but they're not gonna win enough to like take over the Sixers, in my opinion. So,
I
yeah.
do I think if you're just looking from a talent perspective, the Nets look like really unstoppable because they had what's it called? These guys are injured, and like last night it was just Kyrie Irving on his own. He didn't even drop a 50 or something, and they still beat a really good Pelicans team, or not really good, but they're able to they've got good talent, two All-Star caliber players. Zion Williamson might even be like a top 10 player or like in that realm. So they're able
I know,
to
but
beat what happens when they get James Harden, who probably is a top 10 player, and Kevin Durant, who is probably a top five player.
no, but I don't know. I feel like when Kevin Durant has been playing lately, I feel like there's something wrong, but I feel like he just doesn't bring the same impact that Harden does. Like, I feel like when Harden plays,
He's
it's like an automatic win, but when Durant plays, I still don't know.
injured though.
But yeah, I mean, he's still in minutes restriction, so once he gets back to normal, then yeah. But I think this game shows like whenever one of them plays, they still win because like all three of these guys can like win on their own, if that makes sense.
So
Like,
I have an interesting question for you. If we go back to last year's playoffs, there was no discussion. Anthony Davis was the best big man in the whole NBA. He was the best defender. He was probably the best offensive player, or he was like far and away the best player, the best big man. And most people would say he was the second best player. I mean, same goes for LeBron. But now that they've both been gone for so long, and other people have like sort of stepped up their games, do you think those two are still like the best at like the best big man, the best player? Or do they have something like to prove? Like, have they sort of like lost their thrones or something, and someone else has taken it, and they have to come back? Sort of like what LeBron did, where like people said Giannis was better than him and all that, and then he sort of
I
proved
mean, I
everything.
mean, I think LeBron proved it last year in the playoffs that he's the best. Like, and he's been proving it throughout his whole career. But for Anthony Davis, I mean, I think if you just look at like if we just pick Anthony Davis or Jokic, you might still pick Anthony Davis just because he's Anthony Davis. But and he just his defense just brings like the edge in my opinion. But like there's a really big debate right now, I'd say with Jokic because of how good Jokic has been playing this year. Like I think he's averaging like 27, 11, and 9 or something like that, which is like insane numbers and he's a center. And I think he's him and Curry are like the two um biggest MVP candidates right now. So yeah, but I think if you look from a talents perspective, like I would still pick Anthony Davis if he was healthy and like 100%. Like last year, Anthony Davis, basically, I might still pick him if you're just picking a 5v5 game or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like I think, especially with LeBron injured, I think it's quite evident Steph Curry is the best player in the whole NBA. There shouldn't be any discussion, especially given how he's
You don't, you
especially
don't think it's, you don't think Harden should be in that discussion?
away. Look at how
Because
Steph.
I actually think that when Harden was playing this year, it was like his best basketball of his whole career. Like
I mean,
when I was
yes,
watching him, like I thought he
it,
was the best player in the NBA.
okay, it's good from the only way it's good is from the perspective they're winning. I mean, he has a decent amount of rebounds and assists, but he's scoring 24 points per game. In the
He's,
last
he's scoring. He's scoring. Wait,
the last few
scoring
games,
20. He's
Steph
scoring
Curry's
26, 9, and
40
8.
points per game, and his shooting is like 58, 50, and 90, which is
I know,
insane.
but
In comparison,
but
Harden's like 44, 34. and 87 or something, which is nowhere comparable.
No, Harden's averaging 25, 8, and 11 this year on 47, 36, 87 splits. And like I don't know, obviously Harden has a better team, but Curry's averaging 31, 6 and 6 on 49, 43, 91 splits, which is the shooting splits are better, but um I don't know. I just think that
I don't think Harden deserves
um
to be in that debate whatsoever. Like for best player, he has
I don't know. I
just
feel like it's got so much better like since he left the Rockets. Like when I was watching him on the Nets, I was like
I'm talking
how
about
did he
Rockets.
become
He's in Rockets last season because the few games he played on the Rockets this year, he was garbage. He wasn't even like a top 50 player. So
do you think he's just like do you think
he
he
was
was
just
just like rusty in the
unmotivated,
game?
out of shape, whatever you want to say. But like on the Rockets,
But when he came to the Nets, he in my opinion, I just think he's been better
he was
than
more
Curry this
motivated. I think.
year. Yeah. But I mean, obviously you like you're at this very moment with Harden being injured and Curry on this like
I
streak.
mean, if let's say Harden's not injured and he's playing at the same level, there's no debate. Steph Curry is better than him right now.
I I I, I don't think so, but yeah.
No, there. Come on, there's no way you can make that debate. Just look at how he's playing.
Yeah, but it's like such a short streak. Like I don't know. I just think that
It's
um
been like I mean even if it's such a short streak, it's long enough that things matter. So with the win against the 76ers, I don't know if I told you this stat. Uh, in NBA history, Klay Thompson has the second most games with 10 plus threes made with five. Last week, Steph Curry had four.
yeah.
I mean,
I see. No, it's a shooting aspect, but then I think Harden brings that playmaking aspect. That's just like that. I don't know. I think
I mean, how much better could that be than Steph Curry? Because Steph Curry's playmaking goes beyond just like passing it. He has like a way bigger like gravity and things like that. And I think even in playmaking, if you want to give Harden the edge, it's not like a significant edge.
I think it is a significant edge, and I think Draymond does a lot of the playmaking for the Warriors as well. But I don't know.
Exactly. So it's sort of it's not that Steph can't do it. It's just that he's doing more of the scoring, which makes sense because if you're the best scorer, why would you try and play make as much? Like you should like if you get the ball X number of times, you should try and score the ball higher percentage than keeping it like 50-50 playmaking and all that. And I'm
No,
pretty
but
sure
I think
usage or something, in terms of usage, Harden would be significantly higher than Steph Curry. We can just check that quickly. Uh let's go to advanced. Maybe yeah, I think it should be advanced. Usage percentage. No, it's not here.
it's
Uh
27% in Brooklyn. You see
what?
Curry's. It's 27% in Brooklyn. Steph Curry's usage percentage is 33. Steph Curry has a higher usage percentage this year.
No way.
Yeah, he has a 7 higher usage percentage this year since Harden joined the Nets.
But when Harden was on the Rockets, it was way lower.
Exactly. So like that actually helps him.
No, I'm saying that hurts him because that distorts the average.
Oh, okay, but like I don't think it could change by that much. And Harden's 26.9, Curry's 33.6. So
I
I
mean,
don't
so
know.
look, he has more win shares. He has a higher box plus minus. He has a higher offensive box plus minus. He has a higher value over replacement player. He has more offensive win shares. He has okay, not neither of them have many defensive win shares. He has he has a higher PER. In every advanced stat, he's higher than him.
I don't know. Maybe I just like I mean I didn't watch the 76ers game and I was watching a lot of Nets games in the earlier. Maybe I have it like biased, but man,
It's
I'll tune into a Warriors game and I'll
sort of
see
the
like
like he came in with with 7 minutes left in the game. The Warriors were down one. He scores 20 points, doesn't miss a single shot, and brings them the game. Like that's just I don't know. I don't know how you say that's not the best. And the 76ers are the best team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, but Ben Simmons isn't playing, right? Who's
What?
their best?
Best
I mean, who's
against.
their best defender? But
He did the same thing against the Nuggets and the
I don't
and
know. Yeah, I mean, wait, was that the game? Was Jamal Murray playing that game?
no, he's been injured. He's out for the season.
I don't. When did he get injured? Was it a week ago, maybe?
I don't know. I think it was like practice or something. I don't
I'm
know.
gonna wait. I'm gonna watch the Warriors game tomorrow, and I'm gonna
Tonight, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, tonight.
Oh yeah, tomorrow for you. No, no, not bad.
Against the Wizards, and I'm gonna see.
Is there anything else you want
But
to add?
what do you like? Do you think Zion? I mean, not Zion. Do you think Giannis deserves to be in that conversation, or do you think he needs
No,
to get a jump
he
shot
doesn't
first
deserve
before
to be
he's
in the
able to?
conversation.
Huh?
I think if you look at it from a stats perspective and you don't watch basketball, you just go to basketball reference. Yeah, he does. But just looking at the eye test, and now it's like, is it going to be
I mean,
three times
I
more?
actually, I actually think he got better this year. Even though I don't think he deserves to be in the conversation. I think he's like the fourth to fifth type right now.
Exactly.
Um, but like he has all the advanced stats, and I still think he got a little bit better this year than he was last year
I
because
mean, like,
there's just something
there's
about him
no
that
excuses now. There were no excuses last year, and so I mean, so the excuse I guess you could make this year is if he doesn't make it to the finals, the Nets are there and the Nets are better. But
no,
he should at
I
least
think
make it to the
I think
Nets.
this year's the first year he has no excuses because I mean not the first year but this year he has Drew Holiday and last year he had Bledsoe and if you look at the way Bledsoe performed in the playoffs last year like it was like really bad
They're
and
just to cover up for Giannis. He like he choked in the playoffs a lot. Like
okay but if you don't have a team around you that can support you you're unless you're
that's
LeBron
the
like
whole
I
point.
don't
That's the whole point. The team was there. They were historically good in the regular season. What happened in the playoffs?
but like is it
What are you
Giannis's fault that his
What
teammates
are you
didn't
gonna say?
perform?
It wasn't Giannis in the playoffs. He still played equally as good. The team around him
But
showed.
I'm not saying it was only Giannis, but I mean I'm not saying it wasn't Giannis at all, but I'm saying that like if his teammates stats got worse, that's not only on Giannis. Like that's on his teammates too.
But if you're the best player and the offense runs through you, if your stats get worse, everyone's stats get worse. It's like a chain reaction. And last year there was no debate because the year they lost to the Raptors, you could say Kawhi's a better player than him or something like that, and he just lost to a better player. But I mean, is Jimmy Butler really on the same level as Giannis? No way. So, like this year, I think he has to at least pass the eye test. He can't be stopped. If they lose only because Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden just score the ball too efficiently and too at such a high volume that they just can't be
Like kind of like what Donovan Mitchell did last year against the Nuggets, right? Where
exactly.
like he
That's
had like an
exactly.
insane
He needs
series,
to do
but then
everything in his power. He can't score like 20 points a game or something like that. Like
just for
Giannis.
these.
And I'm fairly certain if I just looked at Giannis's stats at face value throughout the playoffs, he only played like 8 or 9 games, and I think even in those games, he a lot of those games were against the Magic, who were the worst team there in the whole bubble, probably. So that sort of distorted his stats. Probably he was probably as dominant as he was in the regular season, and when a good team like the Heat came, his stats were probably far worse than what the averages would say.
Yeah. Do you think we're still on our way to the inevitable Lakers Nets finals?
Depends on their injuries, the Lakers
I
injury.
think the Clippers are starting to heat up, but if they're gonna have a tough second round matchup, and I think um like what we saw last year, they have to show that they're
For the Clippers, yeah, it's just like a character test. Like, what are you gonna do now? Like,
because I think their team is actually they picked up Rondo, they traded Lou Williams for Rondo, which I think was a really good pickup because um in the playoffs I think you need like the defense and the passing because you already have your Paul George, Kawhi, Marcus
do you?
Morris, Ibaka. Yeah, you already have like a lot of guys that can play. So
But it's just a thing that there's so many like threats. Like last year, the Mavericks damn well could have given the Clippers a run for their money, and those teams are still there. The Suns are a lot better. The Nuggets are still there. All these teams can still like give them a serious run.
exactly, like I
Sort
think
of feels,
I think
sort of
I don't
feels.
think the Nuggets are. I mean, to me, I don't think the Nuggets are gonna be able to beat the Nuggets without Jamal Murray. I think the Jazz. I think that if the Jazz play them,
The way it works, the hierarchy is if the Lakers are at their best, like LeBron and AD are back, no one in the West can stop them. Only the Nets can stop them. And if the
you
Nets
don't
are
think
at their
the
best, I don't
Clippers?
think they're stoppable.
You don't think the Clippers can beat the Lakers?
If they're at their best, if those guys are injured or something, then obviously they could even sweep them. But
I
like,
think the Clippers. I think the Clippers have won like 11 out of the last 12 games or something. So they're starting to heat up. But maybe you're right.
yo,
But
who won the championship last year and who failed to
oh
make
yeah,
it?
yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously the Lakers still have LeBron and AD, who are just like one of the best duos of all time, if not the most like talented. Just like I don't know, but one thing that was really interesting is the Lakers are the 5 seed, which means the Jazz would actually probably play the Lakers in the second round, which is actually really tough for them. And then
I don't think I think LeBron will make quick work of the Jazz. I think the Suns
I think
get in trouble, but not the
I
Jazz.
think I don't think the Suns are even good. Like I think the Suns could lose
I
like
don't
their
think the
first
Suns
round.
very good either. I think the scary team is the Nuggets.
But the Nuggets don't have Murray, so
I think that makes them actually no Murray was if like Murray from last year returns, then the Nuggets are like
no, every like for the last 2 years, Murray's been really good in the playoffs, and like even though Jokic is like a really good player, like honestly, without Murray, I think they're
last
just as
year's
good as
Murray
the
was
last.
their best player. Like
I mean, like you can say that, but I don't know. I think Jokic still ran the offense, and
he might have
but
ran the
Murray,
but last year's Murray was their best player. He was just unstoppable.
but see, the other thing is like the other team's defense may be
The
focusing
only
on
time
Jokic
he
because
got stopped
they're giving Murray the buckets.
I think it was game five or something against the Lakers, and LeBron switched on to him, and then he got stopped pretty badly. But otherwise, like then he had like three turnovers and 0 for 6 or something like that. Otherwise, he was unstoppable.
No, because right now the Mavericks are on track to play the Suns, and honestly, I can see the
The
Suns
odds
losing
to
to the
take them.
Mavericks.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the Mavericks might be better than a lot of these teams right now because the Nuggets don't have Murray. Um, the
The
Suns
West
like
has a bunch of potential upsets waiting to happen. Like it
the
feels like
Warriors. The Warriors are also like lurking. The Warriors could play the Jazz in the
who
first
the
round, which
Warriors? No,
they're the 9th seed right now. But I don't
no,
know.
I don't think the Warriors can beat anyone.
I don't. I'm just saying like they're like I don't know. I feel like if Curry's there like against the Suns, like you never know. But
He'd
the
have to
Suns are
do
still
it
a really
against
good team.
like if you look at the games now, they're not beating these teams by a lot. They're winning. These are close games until like the last minute or so when he'll hit another three or two. They lost to the Celtics and all that. So
Wait, did Wiseman tear his ACL?
who?
Did James Wiseman tear his ACL?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I think they actually right because their team like they've had a lot of injuries. They really only have Curry,
Their team
Wiggins,
isn't good enough. Like
Draymond that are
for
like
them to win,
yeah.
Steph Curry would have to play like at an all-time great level. He almost is playing at an all-time great level, but like he'd have to be at the
No,
undisputed. He'd have to average like 45 points per game on like 60% shooting or something like that.
what do you think about Nets Heat first round?
Nets Heat.
First round.
Uh,
Like let's say like one of those Nets guys or two of those Nets guys are injured. Like they
it's possible
they
the
beat
Nets
them.
could. I think it's now that you bring that up, it's possible the Nets could like lose in the first round or something.
Yeah, if their players are like injured, like and they
Exactly. I don't
same
see
with the
them
Lakers. Like
second or
If the
the
Lakers
third
guys don't
round.
come back,
Exactly. If one of those guys is still injured and they don't have the time to come back, and maybe they feel okay, the first round isn't our matchup won't be as bad as the won't be as good as the second or third round, so we'll just rest the guys. I there's like if
they're gonna
if
face
like a sleeper team like the Heat or like the Hawks or someone shows up, there's a chance they could also like
the
find.
Celtics are also like in that range. It's like if the Celtics the Heat play in the first round, that's a really tough matchup. Even though like because like they're like really good teams. Like even though they're like that low, you know what I mean? Like especially if Kemba Walker comes to play. I mean, he hasn't really done that much this season, but it's really been Brown Tatum. But
I
yeah,
feel if the Nets didn't have James Harden, this would have been one of the most fun playoffs of all time.
maybe. But I
There's
mean,
so many teams that could do upsets and have legitimate chances to win the title and all that. Like
yeah.
forget
But
the
see,
West,
with all these injuries, it could
every
still
team
be that
can win the
fun.
title.
Like honestly, like from an NBA fan perspective, like you'd want the Lakers people to be
First,
injured because you want to
how many
open
contenders are
playoffs.
there? I'm not saying bona fide contenders, but how many like contenders that you wouldn't be like completely shocked if they won the title? So the Jazz are the best team
Jazz,
in the NBA. The
Suns,
Suns are the second best team in the NBA. The I think
Clippers.
the Clippers are the third seed. Clippers were the favorites from last year. The fourth seed are the Nuggets. They just made it to the Western Conference Finals. They had the MVP. Fifth seed is the Lakers. They just won the championship. I think the sixth seed will be the Mavericks, right?
I mean Trailblazers, but I don't really think they're that
Yeah,
like.
they're not contenders. The Sixers and the Mavericks. I don't see them winning a title, but I can see them making some upsets. Uh,
Luka played so good in the Clippers last year. Like he almost won the series by himself. Like in that series, he
exactly.
was so good.
And then I think if you go to the that's what five that's six contenders I think. So if you go to the East, you have the Nets
76ers,
because they're
Nets,
the favorites. I think you have the 76ers because they have an MVP candidate and they're the best team. You have the
and Duke for
Celtics
the
because
year.
Brown and Tatum. You have the Heat because the Heat
Bucks.
are good. The Bucks who have Giannis. That's five there. And I don't know if I'm missing someone. I don't think I'm missing anyone.
I mean the yeah, I don't think the Hawks are
No,
that good.
okay,
So
not the Hawks. So that's 11 contenders. So if a third of the teams have legitimate chances to win the title, how fun would that be?
yeah, for sure.
I mean,
But
yeah, go back a few years,
oh, I
like
guess by the way, isn't there like a play-in game this year?
yeah,
Which seeds are in the play-in game? Is it seventh
seven,
through 10th?
7, 8, 9, 10
So the Mavericks right now are,
in the play-in. Yeah,
let's say, see in the play-in game, like the Warriors are there, right? Let's say Curry just has like two like really hot games,
you
and
don't
he
need two. You
takes it
only
to the
need
seventh
one.
seed.
I think it's 7 seed versus 10 seed, 8 seed versus 9 seed.
Oh, so 18 versus 19 plays for the. Okay,
For,
so let's say the 7th seed loses, the 8th seed versus 9th seed gets the 7th seed.
I don't know how it works. I don't know
Oh,
how it
okay.
works, but I know you only have to play one game. It's not a two-game play-in.
No, the
Or-
Heat are also in the
or
playing game, which
maybe you
is
have to
really
play two
interesting.
games, but it's one opponent. You don't have to play against two teams.
The Heat are also in the playing game, which is really interesting because
They could lose.
they could lose to like the Bulls or something or the
I
Pacers.
mean,
But
things like that happen a lot in, like, for example, a good comparison would be in baseball where they have like the wild card, but the wild card is
yeah,
just one game. It's not like a series. So they have the
no.
wild card and then like the normal playoffs start. So it's really similar to that.
One thing I don't like about the NBA that much is they have like full series, but like so there's barely ever like that many upsets. But in the NFL, like there's just one game, so like the Chiefs could actually just lose in the divisional round, like if they have like a bad game. Like that's the cool thing about the NFL, where like the best team could just like lose in one game, and it actually creates a lot more suspense for that game and gets you really hyped up. But in the NBA, like unless it's a game 7, like if you lose, you can just move on to the next game. Like if the Bucks lose to the Magic in game 1, they can just win the next 4. Like things like that. But I think the series generates a lot more revenue for the league. So
I mean, yeah,
from
the
that
series is
perspective, it's
only fun. Series is only fun if the teams are evenly matched.
yeah. If it's like one of those like the Warriors Cavs series from like 2016 or whatever, like one of those series, then like it's really fun because like it goes to the game 7 and that game is just like super
Exactly.
like
But
insane.
if it's something that's not evenly matched, like a first round matchup or something, then no. But the way like the West, for example, is set up, and even in the East with a few of the series, there are teams like there are legitimately interesting first round matchups.
Do you remember the Nuggets Jazz series from
Yeah,
last
that
year
was like
where
one of the best playoff series of all time, or maybe not all
when
time.
my Conley Chuck had that shot, if it had gone in, that would have been like,
The greatest shot ever, I think.
and if that had gone in, um, the Clippers probably would be in the Western Conference Finals right now, and we could have been looking at a whole different. I
I
mean, I
I,
think the Lakers might have still beaten them, but
I
yeah.
think I think if Mike Conley made that shot, it would have been the greatest shot of all time.
What's in that conversation?
Because they were
Kyrie,
down two, and it was a
Harris.
game 7. So if he misses the shot, they would lose the series. But if he makes the shot, they move on.
It was
From a
actually a really tough shot too. It wasn't just like an open 3-pointer.
what?
Like it was just like he just like kind of chucked it up like from like 30
No, I
feet or
think what
something.
happened was they had like a free throw or something. They missed the free throw. They run it up the court. They have like 1 second, so he just runs as fast as he can and then shoots it.
Yeah, and then Donovan Mitchell was actually open in that play, but I don't think they would have got the pass to him in time. He was like on the right side
He
of the
had like a
court.
second left. There was nothing else.
Yeah, that was I mean, yeah, that was pretty tough, but that was a really good
Would have been the
series. But
greatest.
I think I'm serious. Like the Suns Mavericks could go like to that distance, like where like Luca wins like 3 games just because of how good he is, and then um, because the Suns like they're a really good team, but Devin Booker and Chris Paul they're both like top 20 players, but none of them are like top 10. You know what I mean? Like they don't have like that superstar. They just
Do
have
you
two.
think the Suns are pretenders? Like I think the Jazz are pretenders. They remind me far too much of like the old Raptors teams.
I mean,
When I say Raptors, I mean LeBron took Raptors. But like
I think the Jazz like I think the Jazz like compared to the 1 seed, I'd say they're pretenders, but I'd say they're like equivalent to like a third seed, like in terms of their skill level. Like
I think Rudy Gobert will get owned by LeBron by Anthony Davis, and then
Rudy Gobert is so good in the regular season, but in the
he will
playoffs, he
not.
just like
If you've
he
seen
just
him in the
can't
last
play.
two playoff series, uh,
Yeah,
every time in the playoffs he becomes average to below average on defense, and on offense he's useless.
do
Like
you remember those Rockets series against the Jazz where Harden would just like ISO against Rudy Gobert and he
exactly,
couldn't do
he
anything?
becomes useless. But you can't ISO against like Anthony Davis. He's like that's what they did. That's
He's
how
quicker, yeah, he's quicker on his feet.
exactly. And like
Yeah, like
They put him on Jimmy Butler last year when Jimmy Butler was unstoppable, and like he had like 7 blocks that game, and he held Butler to like 4 points on like 1 for 8 shooting against him.
I think that's why like if you look at the Heat in the playoffs, like Bam Adebayo, he's actually like a lot better on the perimeter than like he
Yeah,
brings that perimeter defense also, which is really
he
important.
owned everyone last year. He owned
And
Jokic. He owned the first strong guy. He owned the
what are you talking
small.
about?
He owned he owned everyone.
What are you talking about?
I think Anthony Davis owned everyone last
Oh
year.
yeah, yeah.
He
Even
owned
even like I'm just saying
the
like big men that can also guard the like Draymond, big men that can also guard the perimeter are like really valuable
he
in the
wasn't just
playoffs
the
because
best defensive player, or him and LeBron weren't just the best defensive players. He was also like the best offensive player, or among that in that conversation.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think like when he was on the Pelicans, I feel like he had more of an opportunity to like show off his skills because like when he was on the Lakers, like he was just I don't know. There's something about him to me that he still felt like the second best player, but he wasn't
He
like able
he
to show off
you
his
on the
full offense.
Lakers with
Huh?
LeBron.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Like, I mean, yeah, that's probably a good reason, but
He did individual peak with the Pelicans, but
yeah, exactly. But
just
like you
alongside
could see how
LeBron,
good he was when he was playing with LeBron because like that game winner in one of those games, and then was that
exactly.
this season actually? I don't know.
What? Or do you have anything else to add?
Not really. I think that was a
Right then,
good
so
discussion.
we'll end this episode right here. So thanks for listening, and catch you next time.